Welcome to Changing the Narrative with Red and No Stace. I guess I am here to share our lives and our journey in South Africa. Today we have a special guest, the Queen Key
Oh,
is
oh,
here with us today. And we're going to be talking about, her unique experience traveling the continent, her life, and anything else that comes up. These lives get wild sometimes. Right now, we have 4 people in the room, so make sure you guys are being, what's the word? Appropriate, positive. I know in our live yesterday we had at least one troll. So, if you got negative comments, keep them to yourself. We're all open for feedback and comments, corrections. If we say anything incorrect, feel free. So, with that, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
all right, great. Well, Queen Red, it's so good to be here. I thank you and Stay so much. You guys are my favorite YouTube couple. This is a bomb channel, and I cannot wait to see it blow up because it's blowing up. So my name is Kiara. I just go by the Queen Key on YouTube. It's not an ego thing. It's just definitely unapologetically just reminding all of my melanated beings, everywhere in the world of who we are, who we always have been, because who has not always told us who we are, or they don't treat us as such. And so I am all for positivity, motivation, inspiration, travels, especially Africa, because I have such a deep connection to
Mm-hmm.
Mama Africa and in many ways. And so that's just a little bit about my channel and what I do, just vibes. So that's me.
Awesome. And I love your channel. I love how you talk to people and relate with them and get their opinion. Um, I really, really love that about your channel. It's really unique.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Um, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I guess my first question is, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you grew up, who you grew
Mm-hmm,
up with, and
mm-hmm.
kind of what your culture was like before you went on this journey?
Oh yeah. First off, hey brown coat. Hey bro, we were just talking about you. No, good things, good things. So good to see brown coat in the house. Yeah, he belongs to me. He belongs to me. No, just kidding. So yeah, growing up, I grew up in South Florida. Like, man, vibes. If you're from Broward, Dade County, and I'm talking like back of the old Broward and Dade County, not like whatever's new going on in South Florida right now. It was just vibes. And I grew up with my mom. I grew up with my grandma, my sisters, around my aunts. We were more family oriented, I would say, back then. Um, I just kind of grew up in South Florida. I went to elementary, middle, and high school in South Florida. I graduated with my bachelor's and my master's from a university in South Florida. So deeply connected to South Florida. But I was raised by country folks. So originally, my grandma and great grandma and beyond are from the South Carolina, they're from the Carolinas. And so
Mm,
I would say I had a very average childhood. I mean, I don't think any childhood coming from where I'm coming from comes without, trauma, comes without, you know, things that we
challenges.
think things that we normalized back then, that when you grow up and you start healing and you start wanting to be the best version of yourself, you realize, oh, those things were so toxic, especially growing up in an urban area. I grew up in what some folks would say the projects. At some point, we elevated, we kept elevating a little bit, but definitely I can relate to all levels of people. And that was me. I don't know. That was me growing up. I have 2 older sisters. I'm the baby girl. I have no kids. So I'm Auntie Kiki, though. My sisters had all the children for me for right now. So that's that.
That's awesome. I um I was the oldest out of the kids in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how like the youngest has like a whole different experience, a whole different view on the family dynamics from the oldest. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just crazy. Like I talked to my sister and I'm like, really? Like I
Hmm.
don't even remember that. Or it'll just be stuff that I'm like, well, it was a lot going on at that time. You just don't understand what was going on. So
Yeah.
it's a huge difference between being the oldest and the youngest. But also what I've learned from her is, shit rolls downhill.
Yeah.
And a lot of time the oldest kid, they get a lot of responsibility, but the youngest kid is there often like after the older kids have left, and they
Mhm.
get their own separate set of trauma, like, being left behind kind of. So
Woo. Can I touch on that? I felt like you just that resonate very much with that. Like you touched a little bit about my life. I was going to say if my oldest sister Latoya was here on the live, she would resonate with you so much. I actually I love my oldest so much, and even though we don't talk all the time, when we do link up and have that conversation, it's like we pick up where we left off, and I know that I now know more, but I definitely knew that my older sister, took a lot of hits for me and my sister. And I'm gonna say physical hits, but she
mhm,
dealt with a lot. She dealt with a lot. I felt like so that me and my middle sister didn't have to deal with a lot. And you are absolutely right. When I'm doing my healing, especially as a mindfulness practitioner, as a learning mindfulness practitioner, I feel that when I look at my traumas and things that I'm healing from in my life and where I've come from and everything that has transpired, I still think about my dear sisters because we went through all of that together, even though
mhm,
we had our own experiences. And
yeah,
sometimes I sit back and wonder, man, I wonder, what they really went through or what was it from their perspective, from their lens, you know.
mhm,
And when my sister did reveal some things to me, it blew my mind and we cried together. And
mhm.
you guys are warriors. The oldest siblings are warriors for real. So I love and respect my sister, and I love and respect you for that, Red, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that kind of leads into the next question, which
Mhm.
is, what was your motivation for starting this journey traveling the continent of Africa?
Whew. That's I felt like a lot leading up to it, but the main my main reason was just this longing for connection. And I remember actually I was doing laundry, I think 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was trying to motivate myself to actually put up the laundry that I had done earlier that day. I was like, you know how we do the laundry and the clothes just all on the bed. You're like, look, put these clothes up. Don't throw them on the floor. Throw them somewhere just so you can get a bed. And so I was, putting the laundry up, and I was going through a lot. I had actually just went through an awakening. Some people call it a spiritual awakening, conscious awakening, whatever however it may resonate with many people. But for me, it was a spiritual awakening. I felt like my life had did this, like everything I thought I knew, I did not know. Veils was being revealed. Like I did not. I just felt like I was not the same person. I actually went plant based cold turkey. I went through this real transformation where I just I didn't want any of the same things. If it wasn't for the betterment of my mind, body, and soul, I did not want it. If it wasn't serving me, I did not want it. And I was really going through these different transformations. And I was going through a lot mentally as well and physically too at the time. And it was just, and really getting over, purging a lot of trauma and getting over a lot of things. And I had always had Africa on my radar for actually 2 years. I had never shared it with anybody. I never said anything, but I would always kind of dibble and dabble in little different things, as far as research with Africa, or what would it be like to teach here or teach there? Because I had already been following Kaylin, who's African American in Africa, she's in Namibia,
Mhm.
currently in Windhoek, where I am right now, actually. And so, you know, I don't know what it was, but everything that was like breadcrumbing, every little thing that I was doing that I may have pushed to the side. This awakening brought everything back to the surface. And I
Mm-hmm.
was very heavily involved within the diaspora. I was following a lot of diaspora channels. I was, I think at the time there was she has a different channel now and she's doing very well, but she had two different channels. And those were the most powerful for me at the time because I resonated the most. And there was this YouTuber. She had one that was more spiritual and one that was more about like travel, and she was going everywhere, and it was amazing. And other YouTubers, and I was like, wait, so I can really do this. Like I was seeing people do things that I never intended to do on YouTube, right? And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wait a minute, these are just things that I have been praying about, things that I have been meditating on, things that my soul was really calling for.
Mm-hmm.
And so after this awakening, and I was just, like I said, doing laundry like 2, 3 in the morning, like trying to put it up. And I finally got this confirmation. It just came like, you going to Africa. You need to get up out of here. And it was like, COVID was just starting to ramp up a little bit. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I do need to get the hell out of here. I do need to bounce just before they close these borders, before it start getting crazy. I need to go. And the only border that was open at the time, one of the only African borders that was open was Tanzania, or Tanzania, as most people pronounce it. So, and that was my main motivation. I feel like it was a lot that was already dwelling dormant within me. And then it was just that moment that's almost kind of unexplainable, where everything just kind of purged. And it was like, this is your confirmation, you go. And I had been doing some prayers and different things, but there was and it was deeper than just go, of course. I don't want to go too deep, but I will say that it was nothing but space and opportunity, and I was creating barriers where there was none. I was creating
Mm-hmm.
excuses where there were none. And so I said, you know what, I can leave this place. I know I have 3 months left, 4 months left worth of rent, but who says I can't leave? Who says I can't sell my car? I better go get this car back and sell this car. I bet I go. I took that car back and I got positive equity. I got 2 checks. I
Nice.
went to the I went to the leasing office. I got up out of that. It was insane when you tell yourself, yes, I'm doing that. And you say, yeah, because I just got confirmation and God said I'm doing that. And then you go and you do that. And that was exactly how it happened. And I left.
Wow.
I left. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I mean, we had I said we had kids. Well, I mean, we have adult children, but when we started talking about moving, we had, you know, not young kids, but they were not adults yet. And
Yeah.
so, our plans were more drawn out. But honestly, if we didn't have kids, it probably would have been like Pume. Like it probably would have been the same type of situation. It's awesome you had that kind of freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Um, so
Grateful
I
for
guess the
that.
next question, you don't have a whole lot in the chats yet, so I'll go on to the next question.
Okay.
So what did your family think about you traveling Africa before, and what do they think now?
It's funny when people ask me this. I always say I'm grown. Like, what are you gonna say to me? But with my family, like I said, you get older, and cousins get older, everybody get older, and everybody's kind of doing their own thing. So I can't say that we were all as close knit as we used to be. But the people that needed to know, I definitely told them. It wasn't something I felt like I needed to tell everyone. And so I did tell my mom. I did, I think the first time I left, and when I told everybody I was leaving, it was pretty excited. I didn't see anybody feeling any type of way. I think the only person who may have felt differently was my grandmother, but that's the norm for her. She just wants you to be safe, and she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't want you to get eaten by wild animals and things like that. Like, mom, I would have to go to the game reserve to be eaten. They're not just roaming around Africa like that. But that's just the lack of knowledge, understanding how developed and how much infrastructure a lot of the African countries actually have. And so before I went, I mean, my family, the ones who needed to know, need to know basis, they seem pretty cool about it, very supportive for, for them, very supportive in their own way. And even now, I think now, I did this a little bit more. It's just, I think I just told my mom, I did this a little bit more covert just because it just wasn't a necessity to like do the whole, let's get on FaceTime and FaceTime the whole family while they're, doing the get together. And, so no. But my mom, she's still in my corner, and we make our thing work. And that's how I move. I move freely, very free spirit. And I like to move discreetly, and then I'll surprise when I get there. Because sometimes that's the best way to move sometimes. So, but yeah.
Did they worry specifically about you traveling by yourself?
If anybody did, no one told me, like, as far as extended family. But then my mom, is a little concerned in her voice, like, well, you be careful now. I'm like, well, mom, I'm okay. She's like, well, and then so she has this little concern. And then, but she'll say, well, yeah, you right, baby. I know you okay. You my wild child. You my strong baby. You gonna make anything you want happen. Like that's how she is. So I was like, okay, mom, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. And but my grandmother, she might be the one that's always worrisome, but I don't do that type of energy. I just let her know I'm good and send her love, and yeah, that's how we do that.
Yeah, I think my family kind of was, even though I'm with my husband, like they were still like concerned about safety. And I think, it's partially the narrative that's put out there about Africa that it's dangerous and it's
Mhm.
you can't be safe there. There's nowhere to hide. It's part of the narrative that's out there. I think my family feels probably different about it now than they did when we first moved.
Mhm.
Um, it was tough, especially for Baba Zulu. He was real upset. Not upset, but he was just worried.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
worried.
Well, I will say
Um,
this. I will say that once you get here, and if you have a platform like YouTube or Instagram, anywhere where you can actually document your travels in some way, I think it kind of eases, the families. It eases their nerves, right? Eases their mind, it settles their nerves. And I think it definitely did that for my family, to the point where like one of my sisters would call me and be like, "Oh, the kids like the video where you went to see the animals." And so it's like they see, okay, well, it's actually cool over there. Like she's good, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got a couple of comments here. Peter is crushing on the queen.
Oh, okay. Hey, Peter. Okay.
Gigi Chen says hi all. Hey Gigi. Shoe Barb says hey CTN. Hey the Queen Key.
Peace, Shubar. Peace.
Hey. All right. Thank you. You
Peace.
guys are out here. Don't be afraid to interact. Looks like we got 36 people in, so don't be afraid to, jump in, add your comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Hmm.
Let's see. My next question is: has any of your family come to visit yet? Because I have not had people come visit yet. Like, there's some people in my family that didn't come visit when we were in Houston. So,
You know what? I'm telling you.
so I'm like, I don't know. Has your family come to visit you yet?
Nope. And you know what? And the same thing. Ain't nobody come when I was in Dallas. But yeah, no, no, nobody has come to visit, and I would hope before they do, they would, if someone was really thinking about it, they had their passport, they did their research, they, think about buying their plane ticket. I would hope they talk to me, because it's really important to make sure, for me, to make sure they got everything they need. You know how important it is to make sure you have, depending on which country you're going to, do you have the right immunizations? Do you have the right type of
Mm-hmm.
visa? Did you need to get it? Is it e-visa? Is it visa on arrival? Is it, are
Mm-hmm.
there, is it a vaccine mandate going on right now? So these things are very important. And the more experience you become traveling Africa, or even just learning about the different countries and the required travel requirements, these are things that they become second nature to you to look for, and it's just a part of your travel. And I remember
Mhm.
my sister was telling, I think my sister was telling me this back in 2020 or 2021 when I was traveling. And she was like, yeah, me and the kids thinking about coming. I was like, Toya, bye. She was like, no, for real. I was like, okay. I said, so, I said, okay, so which country? Where you want to go? We was thinking about Ghana. I was like, okay, so then what you need for Ghana? She said, what you mean what I need? I said, Toya, don't come. Don't do that. I said, so before you do anything, please let me know so I can make sure you and the kids are squared away. It's important to make
Yeah.
sure my people are good before they come here. So, but no, I
Yeah.
haven't had anybody visit yet as of yet. So, no.
Yeah, I'm hoping that people come and visit because like I just really want people to experience this for
Mm-hmm.
themselves. Because like
Mm-hmm.
there's no video that can like leave an impression on you more than actually
Your
seeing it
experience.
and experiencing it for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree. I agree.
So what has been your most memorable experience so far in your travels?
I have so many, but my most memorable. I'd be remiss if I don't talk about my citizenship. Being granted my citizenship in Sierra Leone. That I mean, I can never forget that moment. I can never forget how I felt to shake my president's hand and give him a hug, and and he's just vibing with all us like he a regular person. And just being around all those beautiful people and meeting very important people who powerhouse names, and those who are really doing a lot for the in the diaspora and trying to bridge the gap. And I would say that's my most memorable moment. That has to be my most memorable moment for sure. I mean, I was speechless. I was shooketh after the ceremony. I didn't have any words. I was like, this is so beautiful. This is so absolutely amazing how this gift, it was like a gift that just fell in my lap.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was kind of nervous. I didn't know if it would fall through because I was still I had been in this process for months before I even got there, and was still hoping and praying and wishing that my sister would get the stuff DHL'd in time. But I had so many people in my corner like, no, you're good, she can mail it to me and you can do this and do that, and you're fine. Like, I'm like, are you sure? I just want to get this. And it was amazing. It was an amazing moment, amazing people. That's my most memorable travel moment. I have many, but that's my most memorable. Yeah.
I actually saw the reveal video you did for your African ancestry results, and we talked about this before that we're our mother from a couple hundred years ago. Also, mine was also from the Mende tribe in Sierra Leone.
Ah, so are, are you gonna get your citizenship?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought about
What?
it. I don't know yet.
And you know what, Ray? I'm gonna
Yeah.
respect that. I'm gonna respect that. And I'm going to say, first of all, congratulations. And if you need any information, any contacts, you know how to reach me. So I can help you out with talking to the right people. Um, it's an amazing thing. It's always good to have options and to be a dual citizen. And you can definitely do that with the U.S. passport and Sierra Leone passport. It's an ECOWAS passport, so you get to travel visa free throughout West Africa, and you have good opportunities in West Africa. Like, I can do some good things in a lot of different West African countries with that passport. Aside from, of course, wanting to, contribute and build in some way in Sierra Leone. And so, yes, but one of the things I respect, and I respect, folks' boundaries and, and things like that. And I feel as if it is very overwhelming. It's a lot. It is a lot, and it's a lot to take in. And so you meditating on it and you not just jumping to the opportunity because you can, that is
Mhm.
definitely admirable. And you take your time, but you know where to come if you need some info or a few contacts, a few emails, a few numbers. So yeah, but congratulations, that's
Absolutely.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I
Yeah,
like
I'm like, oh my gosh, we're like 40th cousins or something.
that. Of
Like,
course. I was just when I told Stacey yesterday, I was like, "Hey, cousin," because he was like, "Oh, our people, he from there, 35 minutes." But like I said, folks, they start scattering everywhere. But yeah, for sure, the Harmon family over there in South Carolina. But that is beautiful. I don't think I meditated on it enough. I definitely went through the process because I had no other choice but to go through the process because I found out my DNA results. I was in Nairobi in that video, and that was December, and so I had started the process in January, and I didn't reach Sierra Leone until April, and so
oh, okay.
definitely had a few months to. I mean, I was I was definitely working out. I was meditating. I was doing all the things I would usually do. Just being who I am. But I don't think it really won't ever hit you until you walk up, you shake the president's hand, you sign everything, and you take your passport, and you are granted your citizenship, and that's when it hits you. Because I was, like I said, I was shooken. But yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Wow, that is wonderful. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that the Sierra Leone citizenship came along with a lot of visa-free access to West Africa. I did not know that. So that's
Well,
a
yeah,
that's a really interesting. That's really really interesting.
yeah. What was it? What I was gonna say because I was just to show you because when you have a West African passport, you are visa free to a lot of West African countries and even some other countries as well. So how I travel sometimes, like if I'm traveling with this, right, and there's a certain country I want to go to, and they're talking about it's 25 $50 visa, $50 visa, you know, nah, I like my deals, right? So I say, okay, well, all right, but let me check this one, right? And then I could go to that same country visa free because I have this one. So guess what I'm gonna pull up with? I'm gonna pull up with this one, But if you look at this, what I meant by ECOWAS is Economic Community of West African States. So this is what gets you the West African, you know, traveling throughout West Africa visa free, and having, like I said, a lot of benefits with it if you wanted to do certain things, like say in Ghana. There's a lot. You just have to look up, everything that comes with it, and yeah, so it's definitely a benefit to have. I think that we all should have options. We all should have an escape plan or escape route. Those of us from the States, for those who, we may want to find our peace elsewhere. We may want to build elsewhere, even whether it's part-time, full-time. Because I always say everybody may not be meant to move to Africa. They may just be meant to travel. They may be meant for, some short-term, long-term stay.
Mhm.
Half, maybe 2 years here, 2 years over here. However it is, I'm just all about folks, or my black folks, from America, from the UK, from the US, even from, anywhere in the diaspora, Caribbean, to just come back and connect back to your roots. I think that's important. Come and immerse in a culture, come and learn, a language, learn a little bit of Swahili, learn a little bit of Zulu, just expand your consciousness. I'm all about that. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm not, I'm no longer the person. I felt like I was drinking the Kool-Aid my first go round when I first started traveling. I'm not that YouTuber. I'm not that person that's going to trash, like trash the US. I said it yesterday. I'm not that YouTuber. I'm not going to trash the US. There's no need to tear down one country or another just to build another one up. It's okay to admire the motherland and admire wanting others to come back and connect without having to tear down wherever you are from. And it's
Hmm.
okay to be realistic about wherever you are in your life, whatever it is that you need for you, however that remedy looks for you. Everybody's remedy looks a little bit different. Like right now, my remedy is traveling Africa and traveling other countries. I'm going to be traveling outside of Africa as well, and because I'm trying to see other places, I'm trying to see the world, trying to see places. So it's not just going to be, my channel is very African based, but it's not just going to be Africa. And I may be 2 3 years here, 1 year in the States, come back 5 6 years here, 1-2 years in the States, I have family, I have ties, I am a veteran, I have business that I still tend to, I still pay some bills in America. So yeah, it's just but it is so important for everybody to at least come and immerse themselves in some way, come visit. And even then, not everybody, because you got some folks that don't need to be over here. Which is why I was trying to tell that dude who tried to come for me about Pan-African. You ain't never hear me call myself no Pan-African, because the definition of that, you're talking about all brothers and sisters. And I know better than to ever try to persuade all brothers and sisters, because not all skin folk is kinfolk,
Mm-hmm.
And even with that, also with that being said, yeah, I'll just leave it there. All skin folk and kinfolk. We'll leave it right there. I'll let you do your thing.
Everybody knows what you mean. Everybody knows what you mean.
You know?
So Stacy the ghost, and just for our subscribers who are like, where's Stacy? And you're maybe upset that the dynamic duo was not here. He had a little accident. He's totally fine, but Stacy is, the most handsome man in the world, and he just doesn't want y'all to see him any less than, his normal handsome self. So he's got a couple of burns on his face, nothing that won't heal. So don't worry, you just probably won't see him for the next couple of episodes. But he's doing just fine and healthy. He just needs some time to, heal up. So the question Stacey had was, if you go back to the States for good, what would be the last country that you would want to visit and why?
Ooh, I hope nothing don't put me back for good. My goodness, I don't want to be listen, I don't want to be nowhere in the world for good. My spirit is way too free for that. I would have to have a situation that would be super grounding me, to say, all right, I have to be here. But to answer that question, if you had to go back to the States for good, hypothetically, what would be the last country you would want to visit and why? Ooh, South Africa. And specifically Joburg. I'm gonna tell you why. And I say this like as if I'm a party girl. I don't even go out at night. I don't go to clubs. I don't even do that. But you don't have to go out at night to know how lit Joburg is. And I would just want just a few more litty moments of my life before I hear that. Like, I just want to hang out and be lit, because these folks are so lit in Joburg. I mean, I had a blast. I'm excited to go back to SA. And when I go back, I'm gonna be there for 6 months. When I go back, I'm doing the extension.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do I'm gonna split it my time. Probably do like 3 months Cape Town, 3 months Joburg. But that's how lit it is. Like, it's just so nice. Like, it be lit in the daytime. Like, it's a vibe. It's a whole vibe.
It
And
is.
so
It
I'm gonna want
is.
those.
It's
I'm gonna
always
want those
something to
last
do.
minute vibes. Yeah.
You have any follow-up questions? Ghost
Oh,
of
I know these
Stacy?
lights.
No,
Hold
I'm
on.
good. I like that. I
Hold
like the
on. Wait, the
answer.
lights totally went off. Can you see me?
Oh no.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Because it's a thunderstorm.
No, I don't have any other questions. I just assumed that she's gonna pick a place that she's never been to before.
Mm. But why would you want to spend your last days in Africa somewhere you've never been?
I mean, to finish up what you started.
Nah.
Let me see. Is this the best? I think this might be the best we're going to get right now.
That works. We can see you.
Okay, yeah, because it's a thunderstorm going on right now, so it'll cut back
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Well, at least it's not load shedding. So.
No. Oh no, they don't. They don't. I don't think they have that. They don't have that here in Namibia.
Oh, I mean, I know. I'm just saying. At least it's
Oh
not load
yeah.
shedding.
My bad.
You know it's gonna come back on. I mean, I guess with load shedding it's gonna come back on too, but
Yeah.
this is situational.
I'm telling you.
So let's see. Sandra's got voice asked, what countries on the continent would you consider getting residencies?
South Africa, Tanzania, just to live in Arusha. I don't mess with Dar es Salaam. I go to Dar es Salaam to get some good stuff, but I would get residency in South Africa just because I absolutely love South Africa. Um, I would get residencies, yes, in Tanzania to just to live in Arusha. Absolutely love and adore Arusha, and I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Gigi Chan says, "How are you finding Nambia? Have you visited the desert? I read it's the oldest desert in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Swak, Swaka,
Swakopmund.
that place
Swakamoon. Swakamoon. I think it is Swakamoon.
is on
Swakamoon.
my bucket list."
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a couple of questions. So thank you, Gigi. So how am I finding Namibia? Well, actually, this is only my what is this? This is my third, like fourth, like 3.5 to fourth day. I actually have a video that I should be putting out tomorrow, sometime, um, because I had food poisoning when I first arrived. So I haven't been well since I arrived, and I'm actually only here in Windhoek. I know we say Windhoek, but I'm try to pronounce it, I guess, the way they would, in German. But in Windhoek, I am here, and I actually leave out tomorrow to head to the coast. So I don't want to say exactly where I'm going on the coast, but it's definitely that's Swakopmund, Langstrand, and Walvis Bay area. And I have not visited the desert yet, but I am. I am scheduled to do something very nice, very special that I will video, put on video and have on my channel. So yes, and it says I read that, yeah, the one of the oldest desert in the world, and yeah, you should definitely visit the coast when you come to Namibia. But I'm finding it. I mean, the people are absolutely amazing. They're sweet. I love them. I have about the same experience that I always have when I come into a new country. Um, yeah, it's been wonderful, but I've been not well and I've been healing. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to make my way back to Windhoek at some point during my stay here. I'll be here for about a little over a month, and I'm going to have to come back and visit for 2 or 3 days because I have not been able to actually get out into the city and, get footage of everything because I mean, if you the new video, the video I'm coming out with, you'll see why. So, yeah, but that's how I answer that. Hopefully that answers your question, Gigi. Yeah.
All right. So we have Shubarb. She says, "Hey, Queen Key, I didn't know your people were from South Carolina. I'm in Spartanburg."
Well, thank you, Shubar. You know what, Shubar? A part of growing and healing and having expanding your consciousness and having this desire to connect back to your roots. My desire wasn't just to connect back to my roots in Africa, but learn about my ancestors that was right there, my 4 or 5 generations of ancestors that was right there in the States, right? And how disappointing that I only knew as far as my great grandmother. So as I started to dig, I found out, wait a minute, my entire family from generations, are from South Carolina. And I actually have the whole list. It's not with me right now. It's in my backpack, but I have my little notebook, with all of my ancestors and everything. And I have the census records and with their age and, everything. So for some time, I didn't even know that my people were so deep from South Carolina either. So it's very new to me, as far as it's about 2 3 years new to me, this information. And my people were from Richland County. So yeah.
Ooh, you got a lot of cousins out here.
Telling you, right? Shubar, our cousin. Who else our cousin? Yeah.
Let's see. Paula asks, "Greetings. Would you have the link to the African ancestry, please?" I would say to Google it. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
just
know if
go
it
to
makes sense
go to
for us
the
to.
website. Yeah, the website,
Yeah,
AfricanAncestry.com. The
yeah.
CEO, CEO and co-president, Miss Gita Page. you should see all of that when you'll see them what is it, the paternal and maternal test that you could take. And I mean, I don't know if the prices have changed. They usually have specials going, but it's a good $300 and something a pop for the
Yeah,
test.
it's
But
not cheap.
yeah, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
I feel like we should probably see if we can get an affiliated marketing deal. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah.
at least get some people some discounts to get their ancestry back. The fact that
But
we have to pay
I know
for it is
sometimes her website they
crazy.
definitely run specials sometimes. I think on their website, so you should check
I
it.
mean, I think all American Black people should have a free special because the only reason we don't know our ancestry
Yeah.
is because of, we all know.
Yeah. That's true. That's
Uh,
true. Definitely.
so let's see. Clannis said, "Hey fam, I'm late." See, Clannis, you could have just snuck in. Nobody would have known. I was watching my latest true crime upload. Okay, I hope it went through because I need something to watch later. So, in case you guys don't know, he's got two channels. One is
One
Clannis, the
second.
real Clannis tutorials, and then the other channel is the Iron Bars, and that is his true crime channel. Awesome, great research. So
Yeah.
definitely subscribe.
Wonderful. Let's go see if this can
Um,
bear me some light.
so Beverly says, "Wow, that was great information to know. We're glad that you appreciate." Hey guys, hey,
Let's see. Just one in my end.
just just watch my video before traveling.
Mm.
Some visa are said to be visa free, but when you get to some borders, they're still charging people. Okay, okay.
So wait, I wanna touch on that if you don't mind. So whoever this is, SJ Du Toy, I don't know, it sounds kind of French. So I'm sure this person is saying that they just watched that Walter Maya video that he
Hmm,
did before
hmm.
traveling. I actually saw that as well. And yeah, that some visas are set. You know what? It is sad. Now, even though I did give you accurate information, it definitely you are privileged to travel in West Africa, all West African countries visa free with an ECOWAS passport, right? Now, um, I have, I wish I had, some type of influence over bribery and, bribing the bribery that happens and the, just scandalous folks. And you may run into things like that in the smaller countries like Benin and Togo, if you don't have someone with you, making sure that everything goes smoothly. But I could tell you that you're probably not going to run into that in Sierra Leone or Ghana or Senegal. More of the, I would say, probably the more popular West African countries, and even in Nigeria, you're going to get in visa free. You just might run into some different type of things, different type of activities in the airport in Nigeria. But it depends on which one. I would say in like Lagos, yes, but you're gonna be stressed out. But I would say Abuja. People have been saying to fly into Abuja, and that's better. So, but
Good
yeah. It,
information. Good
yeah,
information.
it sucks though. It sucks that that has to happen, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're getting down to the comments when I was explaining why Stacy wasn't on the live.
Mm-hmm.
So Sandra says, glad he's feeling better.
Yeah.
And then Clancy says, burned and fine in the same sentence, Rich.
Oh,
Speedway says, what happened to Stace? Coldplay said he called.
yeah. What? You're so mean. People are so mean and petty.
He had a small incident, singed but not serious.
Oh,
Oh
Okay, like the whole story is
man.
he was trying to fill up a lighter
Mhm.
The lighter like exploded in his
Man.
hands,
Mhm.
and like there's like smoke marks like in the kitchen. Like it was big. Like I was standing at the front door and I saw the flash of fire, and I was so worried. But
Yeah.
he's just a little singed, like Sandra said. He's just a little singed, and he's okay.
That's,
But like I
that's
said, he's a beautiful man, and he doesn't want anybody to see him any less
oh.
than beautiful. So he's just a disembodied voice in the background for now, right, Stace?
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? You play so much. Oh my gosh.
So let's see. Clannis said, "I personally believe that the U.S. government should fund the AAs as an African Americans ancestry DNA test. After all, they are responsible for uprooting our brothers and sisters." Exactly what I was saying.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely.
People still
So this
laughing.
was beautiful plus vain.
Beautiful and vain. No.
Coldplay says that sounds horrible. I hope he recovers. See, he backtracked from the joke. See, people care about you. You should just get on camera. People will be very supportive.
Oh, hell no. Not the way I look. It's more than some, just a little bit of singe.
It's a little singe, a little
Okay.
crispiness
Miss,
on the edges.
My nose
I
is
know that's
pink.
right, Miss Sandra.
He
They
said the
barely want
U.S.
to give us.
government ain't giving us squat. Yeah. Sweetly says that sounds crazy. I guess she's talking about the burns. All
Yeah.
right. Sinhalese are such gentle, respectful people. Nigeria, best to hire a protocol person. That's what they are called to get you through
Mhm.
all of that. They will literally sit with you until you bored.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, well, that is the end of the comments for now. So let me go back to the questions. Have you had any scary experiences or negative experiences in your travel?
Um. Mm, I want to meditate on this and see what stands out to me because I do have more beautiful moments than I have had. Any negative, especially scary because I don't walk in the vibration of fear. Like I really just don't. And if I ever find myself fearful, I gotta step back and try to figure out what's the root cause of that. But a negative experience um, probably wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be anything dealing with like any person.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I was attacked by a bunch of mosquitoes in Dar es
Oh, I saw that one too.
That was now that was really bad because I almost kind of broke out in hives. Like I had a bad reaction, and I now I know I have some type of a skeeter syndrome when I get bit by a mosquito. But imagine just getting bulldozed by a bunch of them. And I was really concerned. I was really concerned for my life, for my health. I didn't know what was going on because it's like every time I looked in the mirror, my dada, which is you say sister in Swahili, she would, ooh, Kiki, ooh, Kiki, another one, ooh, Kiki. I was like, well, damn, where are these coming from? It was so strange. I didn't know what the heck was going on. And that was a really freaky moment for me. That was a really freaky moment. I'll say another moment is when I got caught in the floods. There was this really big flood that happened in 2020 of in Dar es Salaam. Like I mean, I had never seen anything like it. And this is my first time seeing, I guess, some type of extreme weather. I'd never even seen that in a hurricane. Not from South Florida. And so being stuck without transportation in a flood, and you hoping and praying for the best. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's That's definitely one of the things that I remember happening to me in Dar as well. I can't really even think of a scary moment, but a negative moments. Let me see if I could think of. I guess it's. I mean, God is good. I guess because I can't really think of too many. If one come to me, I'll let you know. But those are the two
That
that really
mosquito
stick
one is
out.
enough.
That let me tell
That
you.
put the when I saw that video up, that was like, oh, I don't even know if Dar Salam is for me
I mean, they had
because
to rub garlic all over me. I was like, my goodness, what is going on? Oh, but it was fine. But I ended up learning a lot about my body. I ended up learning a lot, but I kind of felt like I got this some type of immunity to them, to where the bites were not as severe at some point. Because I did rent out an apartment for 3 months in Arusha, and so I would get bit, and I would be like, oh, okay, this one isn't so bad. So, but that was a really scary moment because I guess my body was just not used to that mucus from those mosquitoes at all. So,
hmm
yeah.
yeah, and I have really really bad reactions to mosquito bites. Like I still have, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I still have like a scar right
Mm-hmm.
here from a
Mm-hmm.
mosquito bite I got like 3 weeks ago. Like it
Mm.
was so bad. Like it looked like I had some type of monkey pox on my arm. Like it was so bad. Like just one mosquito bite. I can't imagine getting bit like 10,
Oh,
20, 30 times. Like, oh my God. Dar es Salaam mosquitoes may have found a way to keep me out.
well, it's not even so much. It's not even so much dark. Just that you could find them in Arusha too, but I guess they're not as bad because Dar es Salaam is usually a bit more hot, humid climate, and then of course in Arusha it was cooler. But someone lied to me and told me, "Oh no, you won't find mosquitoes in Arusha because it's cooler." The mosquitoes still crept up in there. They got mosquitoes. They may not be as violent as the ones in Dar es Salaam,
She said the
but
mosquitoes were violent.
they were violent. But you find them, but just
They
not
were
as
on a
violent.
mission. They were on a mission, and apparently they told all their friends, like, yo, Kiara is delicious.
No, and I'm gonna tell you the niece, because I slept in the room with the niece, and she's the one that had it open. I'm like, Marion, you can't do that. You from here? They don't want you. They want me. Like, what do you? They don't want you. I couldn't believe she did that, but it was by mistake. She's 16. She ain't know no better. Um,
They were like fresh meat.
very, very, very much so.
So let's see. In the chats, we got one real question, and the rest of them are joking, Stacy.
Oh man, that's great.
Sandra Scott Boy says, "How was the transportation in Arusha?"
It was really good. It was, so there's an app called InDrive or in the InDriver, if you've ever heard of InDrive. That is the app that you use in Arusha. And because in Dar es Salaam they have Uber, and then in Zanzibar you would just need to use taxis or bajajis. Of course, you have different other types, right? You could take a bajaji, you could take, the taxi or InDrive, a car in Arusha. But InDrive is how I got around. If I did not just go out and like hail down a bajaji, which is like those little open carts, you just hop in. They got like a little Mario Kart type situation with the little hood. So so they got those. But that's what they have in Arusha. And it was I got around just lovely. Oh, I just love Arusha. Just to hear the name Arusha. I love Arusha. I'm going back for sure. Yeah, I loved it
I
there.
hope that answers your question.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. So Rodman says Stacy should come on with a ski mask.
No, y'all can't make me laugh this loud. I'm sharing. Oh Lord. Oh, God.
See, Francis is
Wait,
laughing.
like Pooh Shiesty. Stace, I love you. I'm so
Hey, listen, everybody's cracking jokes. I want Red to
no. I
tell a
was like,
joke that she cracked.
no. Wait, what
I
happened?
want Red to tell the jokes that she cracked on me.
No, no.
No, 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 that's between us.
Yes.
Be quiet, disembodied voice. Let's see,
Be
Sandra.
quiet. What? She said, "Be quiet, disembodied voice."
Oh my gosh. Oh my
How
god.
is your government reacting to the return to Africa?
He's asking
You mean
Sandra.
the U.S. government? Like, do you mean the U.S. government? Clarify your question a little bit. And we'd be very happy to answer it. Rodman says, "Stace a black ninja mask would be lit." No pun intended.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yo,
Stacy
I'm not
says,
gonna.
"Hit that like button."
Yo, Red, I'm not gonna make it through the live. Y'all, wow.
I don't understand. Like, Stacy, I'm telling you, we crack jokes a lot, and so like our subscribers crack jokes back. Like,
You know what?
it's all fun.
You know what? That's what I forgot to do. You know how you be thinking you got back to somebody? Y'all sent me y'all sent me that crazy behind Instagram video, didn't y'all? It's who was that man? Who was he? Who was the dancing person?
Oh, I sent them to you.
I was like,
I
what?
don't know who it was,
Oh my
but it
gosh.
made me laugh, so I wanted to pass on the joy.
But he looks familiar too. Like he did something crazy back in a couple years ago. I gotta look him up again. But I was like, I must have been waking up from a nap. I'm like, wait, what is this? What's going on?
And I just said for your enjoyment.
I saw it. I was like, okay, I would get back to it. But now that I think about it, yeah, that's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with a little
It's
laughter.
all silliness over here.
Laughter
All
is
silly.
good for the soul. Laughter
It
is good for the
is.
soul.
My
Yeah,
soul stay light.
I know that's right.
It doesn't have a choice.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Continue on.
Look, man, if you're gonna be all in it, you need to come on here.
It says, guys,
Put
please
you
be
up,
careful.
put you on one of them little noses and a mustache. Nobody's gonna be able to see the rest of what's going on. No?
No.
Fine. Fine. Guys, please be careful if you feel sick after visiting certain parts of Africa. Malaria can kill you if you do not get treatment. Best to take medication prior to your trip. Also, yellow fever vax.
So yeah, about Mafidi. I hope I say that correct. Yeah, that's a good precaution. Thank you for that. That's for people that's definitely a good precaution. It's good to know exactly what the symptoms of malaria is, and so that we don't want to project fear onto anybody. We know there's a lot of things that can kill you in this world, but I would say just be safe and make sure you understand the symptoms of malaria just in case. And in order for it to be malaria, you need to, especially for somebody like me and Red who pretty much got Skeeter syndrome. We'll know exactly if we got bit because the danger site would be shown on our skin. But yeah, definitely know the symptoms and look for the bite if you feel like you have those symptoms. And be careful also with that medication though. So it's good information, but that medication I heard is very strong. I know someone who took the medication prior to going to Africa and they just got sick off the medicine and never even got malaria. So it's best to I'm a very holistic and natural remedy type of person. So you can do things like neem and citronella is very, very strong. But if you dilute it properly and if you have that oil remedy with another oil, carrier oil, and you rub that over, that has helped a lot of people. I know a lot of folks in diaspora who was doing that in Tanzania and they're not taking the malaria, and we were just fine. And also for the yellow fever vax, yes, I would say you're right on that. Get that. That's actually a good one. And I'm not even for vaccinations, and I would say because that's very it's good to have, but there's like literally no side effects, and it's been around forever, so it's not something that I would question. But it's also good to know that for certain African countries, you would need your yellow fever vaccine Some places are recommended and some places are required. So you have to look for the differences in those words as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get it, it's gonna look like you want to make sure it's gonna be a lifetime, and it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be yellow, of course, but it's good to have it than not to have it when you travel in Africa, for real.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So Rodman says attacked by mosquito sounds like a horror flick.
But you know what's even more horrible, when you don't even know what was going on until you wake up and they gone. Like they just, like, they came and robbed you, now they gone. Robbed you of your blood and now they gone. And you like, what the heck happened? And I literally it just kept getting worse throughout the day. And another thing for people who have mosquito syndrome, or those who are not used to certain mosquitoes in different regions, the bites don't pop up immediately. And so that's what felt like a horror flick, was that every 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes I was discovering a new bite, and I was like, I don't know if my entire body, like, when is this going to stop? So it was really horrible.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Sandra's got voice says violent mosquito bites, like, and she's a laughing emoji. Look, why are
Yes.
y'all laughing at our pain?
It's all right. I can laugh now, but I was crying then.
Okay, so it looks like um they're just clarifying that there's a lot of different countries that where malaria is prevalent, that you should be concerned about. So yeah, definitely do your Googles before you visit anywhere. Clannis says about 12 years ago, I went to the Ivory Coast and had the yellow fever shot that lasts 10 years in the system. I'm not sure if it was the reason, but for 10 years, mosquitoes wouldn't touch me. Oh, what? Okay, well, I mean, it's not true.
So
It's
wait a
not true
minute.
in your case.
Wait. So Clantis, are you saying that did your yellow fever? Oh, and the lights are back on, by the way. That's good. Did your yellow fever tell? It said it only lasts 10 years. That's weird, because the one that I have, or the ones I feel like they're giving out, it says lifetime, which is really strange. It
Well, I
literally
mean, he
says
said he
lifetime.
got it about 12 years ago.
Oh, okay. So that,
So
yeah.
it might be a new, revision, that it lasts a lifetime. But he said he got it about 12 years ago. And he
Well,
said that for 10.
at least you know it
So like
works.
on the 10-year anniversary, did you get chewed up? Like, how'd you know it wore off? Let's see. And Ryman says, no mosquitoes in Arusha. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. The thing is, though, I didn't experience it as bad in Arusha, though. I didn't experience it as bad in my apartment. I didn't have it as bad. No.
Khalees says, yo, the mosquitoes tried to eat me like chicken licking.
Oh my God.
Y'all are so silly.
It's so wild.
Let's see. Coldplay says, can you speak more on the Lagos airport shenanigans? My team and I will be deployed there for a few weeks.
My team and I will be deployed. Okay. I'm not sure if you speaking real military terms, or you and your team just go pull up to Lagos. But Coldplay, why you laughing, man?
I'm not laughing
So
at
silly.
all.
You know what? Well, the Lagos airport is I can't tell you of my personal experience, because I'm telling you from like all of the famous YouTube videos. I know better. I have not pulled up to no Nigeria airport. That not me. But I can tell you that you might want to pull up at Abuja and not Lagos. That I can tell you that clear as day. But I want you to Coldplay, look up some there's literally these recent TikTok and YouTube videos showing you in real time how people have had to actually contact airport managers, because it got that bad. They were holding it for 2, 3, 4, 6 hours unless they paid them some type of naira money. And yeah, They were making people miss their flights. Everywhere you go is money. They'll hold your luggage. It's just a lot that goes on. And yeah, so I would say look it up. You'll find a lot on it, but don't allow it to deter you. I would say, you always have to be balanced, right? And you do things when you look for information, you do it to be informed so you can make an informed decision, right? We don't want these things to affect us negatively to say, oh, well, I just ain't going there. Like for me, I was able to get information and now I'm making an informed decision that I won't be going to that airport. I'm going to the other airport in Nigeria, but they're not going to stop me from experiencing Nigeria. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good information. Good information. So Coldplay, don't go to
Stay
Lagos
shiesty.
Airport. Yeah, Stacy is shiesty. He is. I agree. Thanks, Khalees. Wayne's World. Hey, Wayne. He says, I think the off camera voice of Stacy creates an interesting artistic dynamic, like a phantom that talks out from the deep.
Yeah.
Salute to Queen Key.
Green.
Gifted Hand says, Wayne, it does. Like, this is not supposed to be about Clown and Stacy. Wayne's World, like the show's producer aesthetics. Okay. Kalisa, I put my hand in the lights of Jesus. Oh my God. I asked Chat GPT to make a little joke. I don't know what that means. Maybe I think they're having a conversation somewhere else in the chats and I didn't see it. Okay, Cobley says, why did the man who filled up his lighter with liar fuel regret it? Because he got a little too close and ended up with an explosive surprise in his face. Oof. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have told people. Are you upset?
Nope.
Uh, let's see. Clandis says mosquitoes. There's a warm bam bam. Thank you, ma'am, on all of us. And we are left with the day from hell scratching.
Yes.
Mm-mm. And he said, yes, 10 years. I think there's a new discovery for a lifetime.
Lifetime. I guess so. I guess I got that new discovery there. That's crazy.
Wayne's World says yellow fever shot can be pricey, over $200 if done in the USA, but worth the investment. I heard lifetime and mine is that, but I heard recently they say 10 years.
Well, I can tell you that you can find my yellow fever vaccine, which wasn't that long ago. I mean, if we're talking about 2020, I know we're 2023, but I mean it's not as I'm sure you can find deals. I went to a Kroger's grocery store pharmacy, and it was like half the price. I only paid like $105. It was actually 120, and I found like a Kroger's coupon for the yellow fever or something like that. So I only paid like 110, $111. So you just got to do your research. These things are out there. Like I don't pay for nothing until I do research. But yeah, I'm sure you can find something less than 200. Hopefully.
Hopefully, because that's steep.
Mm-hmm.
Riley says, hello, family. What's good? It's real good. Everything's good over here. Let's see. Coldplay says, nah, we're engineers helping to build peer-to-peer payments. They have a dollar crunch. Okay, so he's an engineer. He's not saying he was in the military.
Okay.
Brown coat. Brown coat says it will still say 10 years on the dose, but it is acceptable for life now. Okay, about the yellow fever comment. Coldplay says, well, F me then, sounds awful. I hope you don't have to fly into that airport. I hope you have an option. Rodney says, Red, did you buy the portable Wi-Fi device in Joe Burger here in the States? So for y'all who didn't see it, I did a short about having a portable Wi-Fi device. when you're traveling. We bought it here in Joburg because I felt like that would probably be better because it'll work with the local networks. And we bought it at, I think the store was called Uconnect. It was like a chain electronic stores, and we bought it from there. Um, but you can also buy them directly from Telcom. I'm not sure if they're less expensive or you have to buy a plan to get it. But we just got a prepaid plan with Telcom after we bought it at the electronics store. But again, you can buy them directly from Telcom. We paid like $60 at the electronics store. So just so you know.
So can I ask you a question about that, Red? Because I saw you guys is short as well, and when I saw that, I was like, oh man, what have I been doing? Because when I know I'm traveling long term, I just go ahead and give Verizon back their stuff, and like I just take my phone and I go and I use the SIM cards in each country, right? But so
Mm-hmm.
what is it? So say for instance, Verizon only had a plan that worked for me if like say I was in Canada or Mexico. When I was in Mexico, I was still able to keep Verizon. And you said you got T-Mobile. You guys have T-Mobile. So and you have a global plan. I heard you say that. So I'm trying to figure it out. So you were saying some people could keep their Verizon and other plans and still use that device. Is it just for like if you just want Wi-Fi, but you would still have to have a talk plan in the
So
States?
the Wi-Fi device is just giving you internet access.
Of course,
Doesn't
yeah.
give you like telephone service or anything. But the plan that we have, um, we have we have data and text available in a lot of African countries, not all, but a lot. And then we can use if we're doing Wi-Fi calling,
Mm,
we can
yeah,
call
okay.
from anywhere. So as long as we have that a mobile device that
Yeah,
works in
of
the
course,
area,
yeah.
we can just do Google Meets or we can do Wi-Fi calling from my U.S. number.
Wow. Okay. Okay, I could have thought about that. But I do feel like I think it is different because Verizon, I don't think they have a global plan. I don't even think I looked into that. They have the international, but the international is absolutely ridiculous. So that's why I did away with Verizon. But okay, that's cool. That's cool to know. That's cool to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the global plan that we have, I got it through my job, so it was kind of discounted.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was kind of, so it wasn't, so to switch from like the regular family plan that we had to the, I think it was called Global One, I want to say it's what it was called. To switch with the discount, it wasn't much of a difference at all. And it's come in really handy.
That's
So,
cool. Okay. All right, yeah, I'll stick to my SIM
but
card.
there are places we don't have service unless we have Wi-Fi. So that's
Right,
where
right.
the Wi-Fi device comes in handy. Very, very handy.
Okay.
Ooh, this is a good question. Sandra says, Queen, if you met someone and fell in love and they asked you to stay in their country permanently, would you stay and have their babies?
Ain't nobody said nothing about having babies on there. You said that, see. Ooh, child. First, Miss Sandra. Um, if he loved me, he ain't gonna ask me to stay nowhere permanently. That's what I know, man. If I met and fell in love with someone, would I create a life here on the continent? I'm assuming I'm assuming the continent or at least the Caribbean. My goodness. But I mean, yeah, I would stay and build, and right, and what y'all do, build a family, habitate,
Hey, what
whatever,
y'all do?
whatever couples do and stuff.
Like, I don't know what
Yeah,
y'all relationship people be doing or whatever, but
I would, yeah, I love up on them and all that. We'll be together and all that good stuff. Why I gotta be? Why the word permanently got to be there though? Like I don't like it.
look,
I'm such a free
Queen, just
spirit. I hate
throw your
permanent.
braids back. Just throw your braids back and be like, what's love got to do with it? Like,
But no, I would definitely. I mean, there's sacrifice to be made. I think in any union, you're right, any partnership, and whatever sacrifices I would have to make that would benefit both of us, and vice versa. Whatever he got to make, yeah, whatever's best for the family, the little family that we will be trying to create and stuff like that. whatever's best for our situation, I'm sure we would do.
I mean, I think permanently, I think like the word permanent is like weighing on you for some reason. But like just because you live somewhere permanently doesn't mean you can't leave. You're not
Of
in
course.
prison. You know, you
But
can
the
go
answer,
travel and stuff still.
yeah. But the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Peter, she's willing to settle down.
Uh-uh. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, Peter.
Wow. All I can
Who
say
is
is
Peter?
wow.
Whoa. Whoa. Who the hell is Peter? Who's Peter?
That was the guy earlier in the chat that said he had a crush.
Wow. You are being messy.
Oh, be quiet, disembodied Stacy.
Let me drink my said ass juice.
All right, we're gonna take a pause from the comments because yeah, it's a lot. So okay, I think we'll keep going with the comments because y'all are very entertaining and I love the participation. I do have um, 2 or 3 questions that I want to squeeze in at the end. So I'll finish going through the comments because y'all are really being silly tonight. Um, Clinton says Chat GPT is a new AI that YouTubers are raving about recently. Okay, I'll have to look into that because I haven't heard about that. Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm. I don't know. I don't even know what.
So I'll have to check. I have to read into that because I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rodney asks if you need a prescription filled in South Africa, is it like the States or easier? Hey, States, tell them.
Easier.
That's all you gonna say?
I answered the question.
It's way easier. Like I take a couple of medications and like all you have to do is go to the doctor with like your empty pill bottles and they be like, all right, we'll write you a 6 month prescription and you out the door. And it's way cheaper. Our insurance is not active yet, and it's so much cheaper than in the States. I mean, like South Africa understands that if somebody can't afford their medication and then they end up in the emergency room because of the condition related to the medication that they're taking, it's going to be way more expensive because then they're not going to be able to afford the hospital bill either. So it makes so much more sense to make critical, medications for chronic conditions less expensive so that people can buy them and keep themselves healthy and not end up in the emergency room. So it's a lot easier, it's a lot faster, and a lot less expensive, even without insurance. If you have insurance, depending on the type, you may have no out of pocket and the insurance premiums are again way cheaper than going out onto the exchange in the States and getting a policy and you have a job. Like they penalize you for having a job and not taking your job's insurance. And a lot of times the insurance with your job is extremely expensive. So it's cheaper than it's less than half. Well, I mean, we're not covering a family, we're just covering ourselves, but it's still comparative. It's about 25% cheaper than what we would have paid with insurance, with employer insurance in the States. So it's cheaper, it's more convenient, and I feel like the care that you get is better, just overall, overall.
My dentist appointment was only like 70 something bucks. Like to get a deep clean. I think it was like they do what they call it something different in South Africa. The root and scale and all the other stuff. And she was extremely gentle and extremely focused and caring and everything. I mean, just the whole works. And I didn't even pay $80. And that would have been a good, that could run you a good 120 to 300 some dollars if you were paying out of pocket just to get a regular cleaning, not even a deep one, in the States. So
deep cleaning, a scaling in the States can be upwards in the thousands if you have to get your whole mouth done.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
got my whole mouth
extremely
done.
expensive.
Yeah. Under $80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clandis says incredible connection. Yes, that's the store where I got
So
the Huawei device from. Yes, and Telcom is a good choice. He said he also uses Telcom. Never had a connection issue. Yes, it is very reliable. There are times when it goes out for a few minutes, but generally speaking, we have not had any issues at all. Wayne says after research, I got my yellow fever shot for $120 at Walgreens. But research is key. They gave the travel doctors hope that folks too scared, too busy to go somewhere, someone who is not a travel doctor. Mm. Yeah, those travel doctors get you they definitely try to get you in the states because certain places ask for stamps and things like that, and they're like, oh yeah, we know all about the requirements, we'll take care of it. But your regular doctor could do that stuff too if you just tell them what you need most of the time.
yeah.
Let's see. Planet says, yo, Red, you should create a long form video with the device and tag Telcom. Let me see if they won't give you a sponsored gig.
We'll be doing that tomorrow.
No, we were like, this is the device.
You're not gonna so extra.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll talk about it. I will give you a call either later today or tomorrow. Um, Wayne's World says AT&T has a good international plan for travel, $10 per day, and you use your phone in 50 plus countries as if you're still in the USA. $10 per day, that's
Three hundred bucks
$300.
a month.
Yeah, we pay less than that, but we can't. But phone calls are 25 cents a minute. But I mean, like, there's ways to get around like actual phone calls. There's WhatsApp, there's Google Meets, there's Wi-Fi calling. So,
There's text that we do is I have this little app, this little app, Text Now app, where I get to call any number in the United States. As
mm,
well. Text Now. I might do. I was thinking of doing a little helpful video. Maybe we'll see how I feel about some helpful apps. When from different countries that I've traveled, some helpful apps and helping people who because we don't really think about it. We don't really think about when we come from a place so convenient, right? Like South Africa. Leaving South Africa, I was kind of shook it in Botswana. It was not the easiest to get around in Botswana. It just was not. Yes, you got deluxe cab, and they're pretty reliable when it's local, but you don't always want to feel like you need to stay in just that little small center of Habarone. You want to go a little bit further out. If you wanted to actually go seek out other villages or other places that may be out, you feel like you would need to know someone, or you get ready to you're going to pay more than average 40, 50 pula, which is their
mm-hmm.
money. And so I don't know. I found it a little less easier to try. It wasn't hard by any means. I still got around. I still did things and explored Botswana, but it wasn't as easy and as convenient as just being able to get on my phone, type in all the information in the app, and know someone's coming
Mm-hmm.
versus always Tumela. Dumela, yes. And it's like, can you hear me? What'd you say? And then you got the speakers in the back. I'm like, Lord, help me. I just need a cab, and it was like a mission every day. And so, but here in Namibia, they have InDrive. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. Good information. So Brown Coat is jumping on the jokes. He said, LOL, the baby's ad lib.
I knew Brown. I knew he was. Hush, Brown. I got you.
Sandra says she's stuttering. Stuttering.
Miss Sandra? Miss Sandra?
Look, everybody can get Sandra? It on the CCM channel.
So y'all come on to States and Red channel. Y'all show out. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Oh, but y'all be all civilized on my channel. I get to see the true colors on Red and States channel. Okay.
Y'all. Let's see. Rodney said, Red, I'll be there next week. Will you let Stace rip and run them streets with me and the fellas? Stace is a grown man. And I don't tell him what to do. Even though he likes to tell people I tell him what to do when he don't want to go. Red said I can't go. Red didn't say nothing.
And Stacy ain't never say that either.
Yeah, you have told people like Red don't want me to go.
I
Look,
never
bro.
said that.
I have
Oh,
never
boy.
any of Stacy's friends who he has told that to. I did not say it. Stacy is grown. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Mm.
So you can just text him and find out if he's available. All right, moving on. Oh man. This is at Sandra's Got Voice. And if that country was South Africa, oh, okay, okay. So they're asking like if you found a suitor in South Africa, how's that sound? I mean, it's one of your favorite places.
Wait, that's for Miss Sandra. That's for me? Oh, Miss Sandra. What happened? I don't understand. This is what
So Speedway says
uh-huh.
at Sandra's Got Voice, and if that country was South Africa, talking about her comment earlier about
Mm-hmm.
moving somewhere permanently.
I mean, the answer would still be yes if she never mentioned a specific, country, and South Africa is definitely one of my favorite countries. So, I mean, the answer would still be yes. Why? What is how you pronounce his name? Sweetway.
Speedway.
Well, yes, Sweetway. Still yes.
So Stacy says at Rodney, let's. Y'all can talk about that later. Sandra said that's why I added the word permanently because she's nomadic. She just wanted to see if you'd be willing to give that up for love.
What did it say?
So nervous. She's so nervous. Moving on. Next question. Okay, Ray. So
when you think about giving up, what are we giving up for? Love should never be giving up anything. Love should be added, right? Like love is a thing to add, not to take away.
It might be adding your want to stay somewhere and put down roots and babies. I'm not wishing babies on you.
No,
I'm
just saying.
Those are roots. You know what I'm saying? They keep you grounded.
That's true, and I definitely believe definitely when I'm ready to be grounded, and when I feel like I'm kind of done with this explore thing, yeah, for sure. But I don't want it, and I don't actually want it to happen that way. I don't want to be this person who's like, oh yeah, I'm done. I want it to happen so divinely, where it's like maybe we both been on a journey, and it's like, hey, it's that moment, and it's that person, and and it's like you've been searching, I've been searching. We're here. I'm weird. I'm shutting up. I'm sorry.
You should write a book about it.
I'm writing a book right
about
now.
it and then just leave the ending open until it actually happens.
I got 2 ebooks I'm working on right now. It's not about love, but yeah, I understand, but it's cool. But yes, it'd be super cool to settle down with someone on a continent for sure.
All right, so Sandra is running the comments today. Okay, Red. So if I have an old script and I take it to the pharmacy there and say I need a refill, they'll do it without going to the doctor. I mean, they are the doctor. You can't take it to the pharmacy. You have to go to a clinic and see the doctor, and then they'll write you a prescription to take to the pharmacy. So you have to go see the doctor. So you got to pay for the doctor's visit, and then you have to go pay for the prescription.
The doctor visits are really cheap. I think when I went like 2 or 3 days ago, it was like 125 rand, which is probably like less than $10. Mm-hmm. And then they wrote me the script. And being that we don't have insurance, I got 6 months worth of my scripts, and it was less than $100.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. So if you have an expensive medication, you might want to make it a medical vacation, and get your prescription filled before you go back. It's not like you're, burdening the economy. You're paying for it out of pocket, but if it's cheaper here, I don't see no reason to spend more money in the States. You just come back here every 6 months. I mean, the flight might be cheaper than some of the medications in the States, depending on what it is. So Wayne's World has written a dissertation about Chat GT. It's like a souped up Google that answers any question you type. Artificial intelligence, they call it. It failed to correctly answer my test questions about such African culture. LOL. So Chat GT sounds like it's mm, that's my opinion at this point. And I know Wayne is right because he's always right. Let's see. Clannis says our right to health is enshrined in our Constitution, and our health systems aren't allowed to turn us away, and that includes pricing of medication. That's awesome. Sandra said they charged me $890 for a dentist root scaling. That's exactly what I said, like almost $100. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
She said 890. How you mean almost $100?
I said almost $1,000.
You said 100.
I meant 1,000. I said 1,000.
No, Clancis.
No, you don't need a yellow fever certificate to come to South Africa. And listen to you on see it correctly. Oh, thank you. Hey y'all from Houston, Texas. Hey.
Hi.
Sandra says travel is your passion and anyone should be able to understand that and travel with you sometimes. Yeah, of course.
Yes, Miss Sandra. There you go.
So it looks like Rodney's getting ready to get off because he's got to pack for this flight. Last time he forgot some stuff. Good chat as always. Yeah, we'll see you when you get here.
Just don't forget my grits, Rodney.
So I just have 3 questions and then we will end the live. I know y'all are like all into it, but it has to, all good things have to come to an end at some point. So in one of your videos, I saw that you went to Dar es Salaam and you lived for like a week as a native. I love that video. I love that, you were eating fresh food, sustainable living. Like it was beautiful. After that experience, did you feel like you might want to give up city life?
After that experience, did I love it so much that I would give up city life? Yeah, like meaning let me ask this. Are you asking could I live like that? The way that I live for the weekend? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I learned how to like wash the clothes the way they wash clothes by hand there. I learned how to do, that was my first time like not having an actual washer and dryer and learning how to do those things by hand. How to prepare certain foods. One of the Dadas taught me that. I learned so much there, and it was very, very natural, and it was very beautiful, and it was very serene, and I felt very, very African. It was such a cultural experience. It felt like a true African cultural experience. And could I live like that? Yes, I would live. I would do everything I did except for 2 things: one, the mosquitoes, and 2, the that squatter toilet. I just can't get jiggy with the squatter toilet. That's the only thing. And that was that bathroom you saw, that was the bathroom I had to use. I had to shower, and there were times I was afraid I wasn't doing it right. And I had to learn that after you do certain things in the restroom, you're supposed to do the bucket to make sure the bucket, like extra buckets of water to make sure. I didn't know nothing. I do things and spray whatever water and be out. I never knew the Dada would go behind me. Like she probably was like, this child, like, to us, that situation is already um, very very exotic. So it's
Shocking.
like,
Yes.
and so how you expect me to know what to do? I don't know what to do. But it was definitely a learning experience. I went through a lot of different emotions there. There were times that I wanted, and then you'll be surprised. That's not even like a real village experience. And I had times where I felt some type of way, and I was, emotional, and I was like, well, Kaka, you don't understand what I'm going through, and I'm just trying to understand. And it was just, I was an emotional mess. And then there were days I was super happy, but by the time I was done, it was, man, memorable experiences. But I can live like that. I could totally live like that. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. Not even for a day. I don't, just because of the squatter situation, just because like
But there was there's regular toilets in the actual house. In the main house, I was staying out there with the sister, and but the thing is, I can still survive with the squatter toilet. It just wouldn't be a preference. I can still, because I'm not a big fan of sitting on regular toilets anyway. Like that's never mind. Like I'm very OCD. I'm very very hygienic. I'm very crazy about stuff like that, but you know, I feel like I'm adaptable, and I feel like a lot of different experiences in my life have helped me to become a very adaptable person. So
mm,
yeah, I can adapt
well,
to
I
most
am
things.
old and stuck in my ways. But just seeing you go through that experience, I'm like, that seems like so beautiful and serene. I just got to live vicariously through you, and I don't have to do it.
I appreciate it. But I know some people who went through much worse. They had like a real village experience for like a month, and I'm like, yeah, there you go. So yeah.
All right, so I have a couple of burning questions. We talked about this.
Okay.
Burning questions you never knew you wanted to know the answer to.
Okay.
Okay, questions you never thought you wanted to answer.
Hmm.
So we're gonna let disembodied Stacy pick the two questions. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta look. Dun, dun,
The
dun,
first one.
dun, 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 dun. Okay. This is the question Stacy chose.
Uh-huh.
If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a really good question. If I could change anything about the way I was raised, I wish that I wish I would have had my dad in my life more. That would have been
Mm,
great. I mean, I saw him and I knew he was, but to actually have that consistent, you know, time, and have that father figure in my life, yeah, that would have been great.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I like I like this question. What do you think? Well, would civilization be better off if the internet had never been created?
Oh man, sorry about the thunderstorm going on in the back. Oh, I don't know how to answer that, because that's such a bittersweet. That's like,
Hmm.
it's been a blessing and a curse
Yeah, I mean, like we're able to have this conversation right now because of the internet.
because of that, right? But you know what? If I feel as if all you said the internet, correct, or technology, the
Hmm.
internet. So all I'm gonna even take it further to technology. All technology, I feel, has done, especially for people who are trying to get back to nature, trying to get back to themselves, and get back to natural ways, and ways of doing things, right? Because what it's done is it allowed us to be so tired of this world, right? And just be so weary of all of the negative energies that come with technology, because it comes with negative energies, that if that's all it is, yeah, it may have advanced our our time and civilization. But if we just get sick and tired and we end up wanting to go back and reel back into ourselves and back to nature and back to the ways of our ancestors, then we didn't need it in the first place. So I guess I would say no. I don't want it. We could do without it.
Wow.
We could do it on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that question. I was like, wow, like I could
Mhm.
make a really good argument for like the internet was probably the worst thing ever invented.
Yeah.
But you can also make the argument that it has also created this environment where you can make it whatever you want. Like
Yeah.
you can consume positivity, you can consume negativity, you can put
Yeah.
negativity out or you can put positivity out. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it connects people and across the globe in ways that we never could have done before.
And never.
So, I mean, you can make a great argument on both sides, and that's why I like that question.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But it just reminds me of just the polarity of life. There always has to be polarity. It's going to be good, bad, dark, light, up, down,
Mhm.
in and out. It's just going to be, it's the polarity of life. And with everything comes polarity. So with the good, you're going to get the bad, you know, with
Yeah,
technology or with the internet. So, the way I be feeling about most days, I could do without it. I do without it.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think some days I should do without it, but it is a big part of my life because I'm constantly looking for information and I'm constantly wanting to know things. Like if something doesn't work, I want to know exactly why it doesn't work and how I can fix it. Or if there's a recipe or something I want to make, I want to be able to research all these different recipes and just I love having that information accessible to me on my phone at my fingertips because I think you're a little bit younger than me, but like I grew up in a generation before internet.
Mm. So you had to
Like
go to the
before,
library and read the books. Yeah.
exactly before like you could do all your school assignments on the computer. Before you could turn in a floppy disk, like I had to type or hand write out my papers and all that kind of stuff. And when I was in middle school is when, the internet became widely available to everyone. The internet existed, but they used it for, business, government, stuff like that. It wasn't something that was available to
Yeah.
everybody. And so
Yeah.
when they rolled it out and they put the computer lab in the schools and like it was just like a whole new world was opened up to me
Yeah.
where I had to go to the phone book to find a phone number or an address or something like that. And if it was out of date, I was out of luck.
Mm-hmm. You know
So
what, Stacey? I'm not. I said, Red. I can see you being a bookworm. Like you, like, and it's actually
I
so cute.
was,
It's actually so cute
I
because
am.
you got your little bun, and you look so pretty, and then you got your glasses. She's like a little bookworm, guys.
I am to this day. Like I probably read less books now
Yeah,
because of the internet. But I have
yeah.
been since my kids have grown up and they moved out and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
working right now. I
Mm-hmm.
have committed to finishing
Read.
and reading more books
I need to do that.
because I used to read so many. You would go through two or three thick Stephen King novels in a week. I would walk home from the bus stop
Mm-hmm.
reading. Like I'd be walking and reading. I'm in the bathroom, I'm reading. I'm cooking, I'm reading. Like I would
What?
constantly, and part of it was, I just like tuning people out. And it was just one way to tune people out. Oh, you see, the disembodied voice has a body, y'all. Like he's all right. He's okay.
Hey, that's good.
All right, so let's go check out the chats and then we'll go and close it out.
All right.
Corny. All right, let's see. Kenneth says thank you.
Mhm.
John Maurice says hello from San Antonio. Hello, John. Welcome to the channel. I think I've seen your name on a couple of other lives, so
It's
glad to
it's
have
been a
you.
long time since I've seen John Mooney's name.
Yeah. So welcome back. um, Miss Cheryl says you guys are doing an awesome job with information on the continent. Please keep it coming until I get there. Absolutely. Make sure you subscribe to the Changing the Narrative channel. Make sure you subscribe to Queen Key. Make sure you subscribe to Candace Tutorials and Candace Iron Bars. And just enjoy all of that content.
Hey, before you go, can you answer the question about the passport?
What question about passport?
It was a lady, I think her name was Paula. She asked a question about a passport.
Well, I mean, I answered the question in the video. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the question. That you
Oh,
needed to.
thank you, Clantis. I appreciate what you said, Clantis. Sorry about that. Reading that.
No worries. Yeah, Clancy says I truly enjoy Queen's videos and her open mindedness. I have great respect for people, her, and the Morrisons, of course. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Mooney, what's up, brother? All right, that's Stace. Verlisa says, peace, family. I definitely can't get with that. Reminds me of my military days visiting in town, Kyrgyzstan. It was real different. I think she's talking about the maybe the airport conversation. Let's see. Brown coat. Oh, for me, that the internet is definitely a net gain. Without it, all information would have been controlled by them folks, the likes that likes to destroy history and burn books, etc. Hey,
Oh.
Clannis says it's a yes and no answer for me.
Yeah.
He said he's a BBT, born before technology. Hey, the BBT club.
Oh my gosh.
See. Hey, thanks for joining.
Please.
I'm just getting here. Do you have to leave every 3 months? Yes and no. Like when you come into South Africa, you get a 90-day visitor visa. And technically, after the visa expires, you have to leave, but you can apply for an extension for up to an additional 3 months. We're actually going to be doing a video on that probably late next week. So keep an eye out for that. Will be some good information for you on the extension process. Yeah, another member of the BBT club. Okay. John Mooney says, hey, hey. All right. Okay. I think we're at the end of the comments. Thank y'all so much for joining. Really appreciate the interaction. Love the interaction. Like y'all were on one tonight. Like you were really showing your tails, and we love it. We love it over here at CTN. So, Queen Key, do you have anything that you want to say before we close out this awesome live?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you and Stace for having me on. I truly appreciate it. It's always a vibe. And, yeah, it's always a vibe. I love this. This was fun. It was some good laughs. Hopefully, some people were able to get some good information. Thank you for the questions. I truly appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
You are very welcome. It was a pleasure. And Sandra says, thank you for your time. Sorry I sent so many comments. Love the content. No, we love the comments and the engagement. That's what we're here for, to share our experiences and share what we've learned. So people can come, visit, stay. That's what we're here for. So whatever you got, questions, we do our lives, jump in. We love it. All right. Well, thank you everyone for hanging in. It was a pretty long live. Try to keep it an hour, but when it's really good conversation, we just keep it going. So thank you guys for hanging in. We really appreciate. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And make sure you turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our lives or any of the great information that we're going to be putting out. All right. Well, peace.
Oh, it's for me.
Peace.